to choose an opponent, who would it be?
Anyone who is very kind to me and loses. Best opening.
Like what opening?
It's like, what is the best fruit? It's very subjective. The funny thing is that I became a grandmaster when I least cared about it. Like I was playing a video game and going to the game. And that's when I won it because it took my mind off.
This question has been asked to Magnus, but I'm really curious to ask you.
How does the knight move?
No.
There were even points like I played a lot of tournaments and then my parents realized it's too much. So they just locked up the chess set and kept me away for a month. And then I came back and then I played much better because I was so burnt out and I lost that freshness.
It is a special evening at our Coppell Chess Club as the kids and parents get a chance to meet Vidit Gujrathi, India's one of top grandmasters, who is visiting Texas to play on the inaugural Universal Chess Tour. All the children waited with excitement and broke into joy as Vidit entered the center.
Thank you.
And after a brief tour of our center, Vidit signed some autographs and interacted with the kids, which the children will remember for a very, very long time. While there wasn't any planned activities for this session, one of the parents quickly asked Vidit for chess improvement advice, and then what turned out was an entertaining and inspiring interview. But Vidit went over his early days of his career all the way up to competing at the highest level. And here is how it went.
Yeah, I think solving tactics. Do you guys solve tactics online?
Yeah.
Where?
Chess Temple.
Nice.
The temple.
I think you should. Sorry?
Coppell Chess Club.
Oh, okay. Nice.
They have their own website which has all the tactics.
Oh,
So that's what
okay.
he's saying. I solve on the Coppell Chess Club website.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I think that's the basic foundation to like. When I was young, I remember my coach had given me a book which was like 1,000 chess puzzles or something. I hated doing it, but that really helped because that's the foundation that you cannot go without it. You can go without, like, let's say, playing the strategy or positional games, but tactics is the must. And second thing is, I think the new generation which have come up, they play a lot of games online. Like they do so many games blitz. It was considered that it's not healthy, but they have proved it wrong. Like they have like thousands and thousands of games. So
Blitz is good.
yeah, and also I think to know what you enjoy doing the most. I think the kids, which they like all Pragg and all of them or Arjun, they played blitz because they enjoyed it. They had fun, and that's why they kept doing it. For example, Magnus, he enjoys reading books, so he does that more even when he's playing for the World Championship.
I love reading.
Yeah, he does not really like to sit down and like do the dirty work. He's like, okay, I'll just do what I enjoy. That keeps him going. So he's happy when he's doing it. So that's the key. And when he's happy, he's doing more of it. So I would suggest that, like, just, it sounds very simple, but it's hard to do.
Yeah. When did you start playing with it?
I started when I was like 6.
6?
6, yeah.
Do you remember how that happened? If a parent or someone?
It was an accident. Like, actually,
Okay.
I didn't really go for chess club.
Okay.
So it was a common club where there were many sports.
Okay.
And I actually went for cricket, like every Indian kid.
Oh yeah.
But I was too fragile, like I was too young, and they said, you'll get injured. So for 1 year, play some different sport. So they gave me option of badminton and chess.
What about basketball?
Basketball I play now for fun.
I play basketball. What do you say?
Best opening, like in a game, like what's the most?
There's no such thing as best opening.
Like what opening?
It's like, what is the best fruit? It's very subjective.
Mangoes.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
What's your favorite opening?
Mine I like Sicilian because it imbalances the position and you can like give checkmate. It's more.
I hate Sicilian defense.
Why?
Sicilian attack, because they always lose.
I tried to learn it, but it had too much variation.
That's why it's so good.
Yeah, you can pick one, just master one opening at a time. If you try to do all of it at once, it can get overwhelming. Like, just pick one opening which you like, study some games, and then try it out.
What is your toughest phase in your chess journey and how did you overcome it?
There were many. One of the thing that comes to my mind is like when I was 15, I was almost close to becoming a grandmaster, but I used to like panic when I came close and I used to make a mistake. Like the pressure used to get to me. So I struggled for a couple of years doing it, and then I was like not sure if I should, keep playing chess. The funny thing is that I became a grandmaster when I least cared about it. Like I was playing a video game and going to the game, and that's when I won it because it took my mind off. But that's not my advice. It helped me at that point just to take the pressure off, basically. So even for example, Magnus now, he goes for a game during the World Championship, like he plays basketball or football, just to take his mind off some physical sport. So for me, that was the tough part. Like when I was close, the pressure used to come in.
So
Are there many tournaments
in
here?
a tournament, do you switch on and off? Like when you play a game in a tournament?
It's very hard to switch off.
Okay.
Very hard to switch off. But that's why I think sport helps. For example, when you're swimming, you're really thinking about the next stroke rather than, what I'm going to play tomorrow. So that's the most natural way to switch off. But I struggle with it.
Swimming is a very good analogy.
Yeah.
Actually.
Who is your hardest opponent?
Hardest opponent. I think myself, because I really I can overthink and I get like afraid sometimes of my opponent, and then I kill myself just before the match has even started. So I learned,
What is
not
your
to.
biggest game? What was your biggest game?
Longest?
Longest.
Uh,
The longest.
I think there was one which was over 200 moves. I don't recall exactly how much, but yeah, it went like 6-7 hours plus.
How much notation sheets did you need for that game?
Sorry?
How much notation sheets did you need for that
I don't recall. I was your age, so it's been a while.
But you said you were afraid before the game. Don't you meditate?
Yeah, I do. That's why I started. One of the reasons I started to, get hold of my mind.
What do you think while you meditate?
So there are many things that you can do. For example, meditation is basically like taking control over your mind, because it will keep saying a lot of things, but you wanted to focus on the good stuff. So you can think of just an image in your head and just try to bring back your attention to that image. It sounds easy, but it's very hard. Even if you try for a few seconds, your mind will wander off somewhere else. So that's one of the techniques, just focusing on something. So people focus on breath. You can think of an image and just focus on it and then try to bring your mind back to it. It's very boring, but it's like gym. The after effect is good. You feel good afterwards. It's like mental gym.
Thank you.
You made us proud of the candidates. What will you do differently if you go there again?
Thank you. That's an interesting question. Actually, I would change the way I prepared.
Preparation, okay.
Yeah, because I was focused a lot on openings, but candidates, it requires a lot of mental toughness as well. So I would train more of that, which I missed out on. Some crunch situations you need to anticipate in advance and be prepared, rather than your instinct taking over. You prepare your instinct in a way. I
Amazing.
think
Okay.
that's one thing which I would really change. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's very inspiring still, and we wish you the best for the next one.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Wait,
Thank you.
who are you gonna play with next?
Tomorrow or day after tomorrow, Hans Niemann. So
You have kids?
I have kids? No.
How old were you when you won your first tournament?
I'm sure I've won when I was around 8. But the national championship was when I was 10 years old. That's the big one which I won.
Oh, wow.
So if you have to start your chess journey again, what would you do differently?
Actually, not much. I think it worked out well. So at least the initial part I would keep doing. But thanks to my parents, actually, they did a lot. They were constantly thinking about, who should I go to, what coaching do I need to take me to various tournaments. For example, I used to play this age group events, and this told me to play the open group. when I could have won the age group. But they were like, you need to challenge yourself. Whereas I didn't win the Open, I was like struggling, and I saw my peers doing well in the age group. But that helped me, to become stronger. So constantly challenging myself was one of the key things. Like always played someone who is slightly stronger than me. That really helps. The difficulty should not be too much though, because that can be discouraging. Just slightly stronger. That right balance you need to find.
Yeah, like I have a twin. So they played in national. One of the twin played open, another one played under 1700. Both are almost same rating. But the one who played in open, he was like so much discouraged.
Yeah.
But the other one he got first place in national. So
Yeah.
we don't know.
Yeah, I think also you have to experiment. Like there's no like right solution. It's very subjective. What worked for me might not work for someone else. But there's a majority cases which are certainly like it's like you just put your money on like S&P 500 and you can't go wrong for. I mean, not advice, but it's like basic stuff. So that can always be followed.
Talking about parents, what advice would you give other parents to help their best with their children?
I think in my case what worked was we played a lot of tournaments. So we traveled a lot. There was a lot of hustling there. And also my parents were very active when they were interacting with the coaches.
Okay.
To understand where do we stand, what do we need to do next. So it was a lot of analyzing continuously.
Their activity decision making
Yeah.
to get
Speaking
the best
to many
results
people.
for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Like-
one such parent.
Should parent force the kids to play?
No, I was never forced. I was never really forced. I wanted to because I hated losing. So
Wait, did you win in the games, like in the tournaments?
no, I lost many games.
What's some advice?
Oh wait, you said you did 200 moves, right? Did you win or lose?
I think I drew. That's just.
What's some advice you would give to someone who's like starting chess?
As I said earlier, to find out what you're enjoying the most, because, for example, someone might hate doing the end games at the beginning and enjoy playing more. Then they should do that, and then have a little bit dose of that. Like it's like in a plate you have the food which you like the most, and then you have some vegetables at some point if you don't like it. But I think to find out what works for you.
Who's your toughest opponent in the candidates?
The candidates. I think.
You won Hikaru, right?
Yeah, I won against Chicago, but Nepomucci I lost.
Yeah.
But
I think I watched one of those games.
Was you did? Did you enjoy? Nice. Where were you watching the games?
Nice. I had on TV.
TV?
Watch it live or wait for Sagar's reviews.
Oh, nice. So you guys all follow Sagar, Chess Base
We
India.
follow Chess Base India.
Yeah,
so
me too. I will follow Chess Base India.
What's your
Wow.
toughest opponent in India?
Pragg.
I knew that.
Do you look up to anyone?
Yeah,
Sorry?
you can be
So
there.
you
Go
played
to
with both
anyone?
Gukesh and Pragg?
Magnus, because I think he's been like world number one for so many
But
years.
then
That's why.
Pragg beats him. Like, he just crushes Magnus.
Yeah, it's a lot about styles.
But you said you look up to Magnus. Just a general question. Who do you think is better, Garry or Magnus?
Magnus.
I think the amount of tournaments that Magnus has won in the modern era is like really very admirable. Like so tough. He's world number one for like more than 15 years. That's really hard when so many people are playing. Like in Kasparov's time, there were less people, less competition. Although he was great in his own era, and growing up he was my idol. But I feel like Magnus's achievement is really something exceptional.
You played with both Gukesh and Pragg, and Gukesh is India number one. So why would you say Pragg is your toughest opponent in India?
Yeah,
Because of the style. Like
Yeah,
he's
he's
very
like-
solid. It's very hard to beat.
He was
Like,
he
he
does
doesn't-
so many clever moves, and then nobody can beat him now.
Gukesh takes more risks, so he gives more chances.
He gives
But
more
Pragg is
chances.
more stubborn.
Very stubborn. He was very clever.
You recently moved to Mumbai. How do you like it so far?
Oh, it's great.
Great.
I mean, I'm going to have first-hand experience of the Mumbai monsoons soon once I'm back.
Back. Okay.
Yeah, but it's a great city.
Awesome.
Like, it's something what people say when you come to America or something like, American dream. If you're going to work hard, there will be opportunities. So same goes for Mumbai. I feel in India, like there are a lot of opportunities to do well.
Syrian never sleeps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
never
does
really.
not.
What state are you from?
Maharashtra.
How old are
From
you?
Gujarat.
No.
Yes.
I lived all my life in Maharashtra.
Nice. There was a mall. You did it simultaneous in a mall. How did that happen, and how did you enjoy it? Because you just moved to the city, and there was a big event where you have to play.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So it was right in the center of the mall, and there were so many onlookers who were just in the mall, to shop or something, and they got hooked onto it. Like, what is happening? They were looking from above. Sagar was doing the commentary.
Correct.
So we were playing. I think I played 16 people
Uh-huh.
at that point. It was a lot of fun. I think US should have more of these exhibition matches. I think people would like it. I don't know. I don't know if there's a culture here where it happens.
There are some simuls that happen sometimes, but yes, even today we could have done maybe a little early in the day. Maybe we could have done some. But yes, the kids get a chance sometimes to do that. That's a good experience to play
When I was
and get inspired.
7, 2 grandmasters came to my city and did a simul,
Very good.
and that was really inspiring because I got to play grandmaster for the first time.
That's right.
And then you prepare, you're motivated, you're excited, you hear them talk, you analyze with them, and that's an experience.
Is
to
it the
have.
first GM you met? The first
Yes.
ever GM that you met?
Yes.
Okay.
I lost one and I drew one, so that gave me a lot of confidence as well to draw against a grandmaster.
Amazing. And you're just 7 years old. That's
7 or 9, I don't know the exact.
It's a lot of confidence for sure that I can do this.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
I think that should be done here. If it's done like very professionally, I think it'll help a lot of kids.
Okay.
Who was your idol or when you were little? Like,
I used to watch the games of Garry Kasparov because he was so he didn't play dull chess. He was so aggressive, right? And always some action used to happen on his board. So I loved that.
if you get to choose an opponent, who would it be?
Maybe.
Anyone who is very kind to me and loses.
I think Pragg.
Huh?
I think Pragg.
You're a Pragg fan, yes?
Does the choice of the city where you grow up influence your final result to some extent?
I don't think so because I grew up in a city called Nashik, which didn't really have huge chess culture. I think even now, after me, the highest rated player is 2100, despite so many years. So it does help if you have a chess culture around. And if there was not, we actually created one. So my parents, there were a couple of other parents. So we used to have matches at each person's home every Sunday. And they used to organize how a kitty party works, but for chess. And that was something we looked forward to, and then we played a lot. We created that atmosphere. So whenever we traveled to tournaments, we were together. And that helped. So it helps, but it's not like an obstacle. It can be created even if you have some like-minded people around. Is there a chess culture here in Dallas?
They are creating a lot of the area.
To create, yeah.
That's nice.
So when you were young, how many hours do you practice?
I didn't really keep a track, but there were some times when I had a bad tournament or I didn't do well, then I was extremely motivated to work hard. So countless hours actually. I used to read a lot of books back then.
So how did you balance between academics and chess tournaments and practice and all that?
Yeah, I think earlier it was like when I was in like 2nd to 7th grade, 8th grade, it was easy. Like I didn't understand why you need to spend an entire year in the school to learn this, but like 1 month is enough. I felt that. And in the 10th grade, which is like kind of important in India, I spent the first half playing chess and the last 3 months just studying, and then I didn't play chess. There were even points like I played a lot of tournaments and then my parents realized it's too much. So they just locked up the chess set and kept me away for a month. And then I came back and then I played much better because I was so burnt out and I lost that freshness. So sometimes it's also important to take break. Like, so you really have to identify what's the issue. It's so subjective. For each kid, it's different.
What made you start liking chess?
I love that it challenged my brain. Like even now when I play, if there's some challenging problem to solve, it excites me. It's like a puzzle, and when you solve it, you have that happiness that I cracked the code. Something like that.
Can you recommend some chess books for us?
Sure. I think there's so many. But also I feel rather than chess books, there are also many material online which can be followed. I'm not so up to date with the latest ones, to be honest. But I've heard this book, Fundamental Chess series of Yusupov. It's supposed to be very good. It has levels and it's like nicely organized. I have not read it, but I've heard it's really good, especially at the beginning.
So when you were a teenager, you were like a really chess fan, right? Like you used to like love chess a lot. So did that affect your grades?
It was a love-hate relationship. It was not really like linear. But yeah, the good stuff really overpowered the bad days.
So did it affect your school grades?
No, that was the problem for my parents because I was doing well both cases. So I did well in academics. I think chess helps you do that also, is my opinion. Like it trains you holistically. Even if you don't take it up as a career, just playing chess like somehow activates other skills of yours, makes you sharper, and that helps in studies and other areas of life as a human as well. So I feel if it's taken like that, it's a better view than you just have to make a career, because that's like an added pressure. But if it leads there, like things lead there, then it's great. Can't be forced into, I feel.
Exactly. She plays piano very well, and her teacher says that she's able to find patterns from other songs, use that for new songs.
Oh, yeah.
So the pattern recognition is kind of helping her.
Oh, true.
So any skill that you gain by playing chess, like it could be for math or anything else.
Yeah.
At some point you apply, I think.
I think the teacher is right. Absolutely.
Which opponent was the easiest opponent for you? The hardest opponent for you?
Easiest. Sadly, there are no easy opponents nowadays. But I won against Ali Reza in Candidates in like just first 15 moves. He was having a bad day and he just collapsed. So his style doesn't work against me. He goes like all in, and then I just sit there and collect the point.
One last question. This question has been asked to Magnus, but I'm really curious to ask you.
How does the knight move?
No. It's the alien question. If to attack the Earth from White's position, what opening would you play to save the Earth?
What is the question?
So if aliens attack Earth and you have to play the aliens to save the Earth, and you're White, what opening would you play?
The Catalan. Yeah, just put my bishop on g2 castle. My king is safe. Let the aliens struggle.
Nice, you're ready for the answer. Very good.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vidit. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
That was one of the best interviews ever, and the best part is that neither Vidit or the kids were prepared to ask or answer questions, but they were both in full flow on this day. The whole interaction was honest, fun, and inspiring. huge thanks to Vidit for coming over, and we wish him the best.